What if I told you that the reason you keep waking up at 2 a.m. or 3:17 a.m., staring at the ceiling, feeling frustrated and exhausted the next morning, might have nothing to do with your mattress, your pillow, or even your bedtime routine? And what if the real reason your sleep keeps breaking in the middle of the night is something happening deep inside your body? Something that becomes much more common after the age of 60. Millions of seniors believe waking up several times at night is simply part of getting older. They say things like, "That's just aging," or "Everyone my age sleeps like this." But the truth is, your body was designed to sleep through the night. Deep sleep is not just for young people. Your brain, your heart, your hormones, and even your immune system depend on those long, uninterrupted hours of rest. But as we age, several hidden changes start happening inside the body. Certain calming minerals begin to drop. Sleep hormones become unstable. Blood sugar fluctuates during the night. Stress hormones rise when they shouldn't. And suddenly the body that once slept peacefully begins waking up again and again. You fall asleep fine, but then your eyes pop open in the dark. Your mind becomes alert for no reason. Sometimes you feel slightly anxious. Sometimes you feel warm or restless. Sometimes you need to use the bathroom. And sometimes you simply cannot fall back asleep. Many seniors try sleeping pills, but those often leave you groggy, foggy, and dependent. And over time, they can actually make sleep worse. But here's the encouraging news. Scientists and sleep researchers have discovered that certain natural nutrients can support the exact systems responsible for deep, stable sleep. These nutrients work with your body rather than forcing it to shut down like sleeping pills do. When the body finally receives the right building blocks, something remarkable often happens. Night wake-ups become less frequent, the mind stays calm, the nervous system relaxes, blood sugar stabilizes, and sleep becomes deeper again. Tonight, we're going to talk about 10 supplements that many sleep researchers believe can help seniors stay asleep longer and reduce those frustrating middle-of-the-night wake-ups. And some of these may surprise you, because the real problem often isn't just melatonin. Let's start with something that most seniors are unknowingly low in. Magnesium is one of the most powerful relaxation minerals in the human body. It plays a role in more than 300 biological processes, but one of its most important jobs is calming the nervous system. Magnesium helps regulate the neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is the chemical that slows brain activity and allows the body to enter a state of relaxation. Without enough magnesium, the brain struggles to switch into that calm nighttime mode. That means even if you feel tired, your nervous system may still be slightly on, causing you to wake up throughout the night. Another reason magnesium becomes more important after age 60 is that the body absorbs it less efficiently. At the same time, many medications used by seniors, including blood pressure medications and acid blockers, can lower magnesium levels even further. When magnesium levels drop, muscles may feel tight, the heart may beat slightly faster at night, and the brain becomes more sensitive to stress signals. This is why many people notice that after taking magnesium regularly for a few weeks, their sleep becomes deeper and more stable. Magnesium glycinate in particular is often recommended because it combines magnesium with glycine, an amino acid that has calming effects on the brain. Some seniors report that their mind finally quiets down at night after adding magnesium to their routine. But magnesium is only one piece of the sleep puzzle. Another compound that becomes increasingly important with age is glycine itself. Glycine is an amino acid that functions almost like a natural sedative for the brain. But unlike sleeping pills, it does not knock you out. Instead, it gently lowers core body temperature and signals to the brain that it is time to sleep. You may not realize this, but falling asleep requires the body's temperature to drop slightly. This cooling effect helps trigger deep sleep cycles. Glycine helps accelerate this process. Research has shown that people who take glycine before bed often fall asleep faster and experience fewer nighttime awakenings. Even more interesting is that glycine appears to improve sleep quality without causing morning grogginess. In fact, many people wake up feeling clearer and more refreshed. As we move deeper into the night, another hidden issue begins affecting many seniors: blood sugar instability. This may sound surprising, but blood sugar drops during the night are one of the most common causes of sudden wake-ups around 2 or 3 a.m. When blood sugar falls too low, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to bring it back up. These hormones are stimulating. They wake the brain instantly. That sudden alert feeling in the middle of the night is often not insomnia. It is your body reacting to a blood sugar dip. One nutrient that may help stabilize nighttime blood sugar is chromium. Chromium supports insulin sensitivity and helps the body regulate glucose more effectively. When blood sugar remains stable overnight, the body has less reason to release those stimulating stress hormones. Some seniors who struggle with frequent 2-3 a.m. wake-ups notice improvement after supporting their blood sugar balance. Another compound that plays a critical role in nighttime calm is L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid naturally found in green tea, but unlike caffeine, it promotes relaxation without sedation. L-theanine works by increasing alpha brainwaves. These brainwaves are associated with a state of calm awareness. It is the same relaxed mental state people experience during meditation. For seniors whose minds race at night or who feel anxious when they wake up, L-theanine may help the brain stay in a calm state throughout the night. Some researchers believe L-theanine helps reduce nighttime cortisol spikes, which can otherwise pull you out of deep sleep. And speaking of cortisol, one of the biggest sleep disruptors after age 60 is the shift in the body's natural stress hormone rhythm. Normally, cortisol should be lowest late at night and rise gradually toward morning. But in many older adults, cortisol begins spiking during the middle of the night. This leads to sudden awakenings where the mind becomes alert for no clear reason. One adaptogenic herb that has been studied for balancing cortisol rhythms is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been used in traditional medicine for centuries to help the body adapt to stress. Modern research suggests it may help lower excessive nighttime cortisol and support a more stable sleep cycle. When cortisol remains low during the night, the brain can remain in deep sleep phases longer. But there is another sleep hormone that deserves special attention: melatonin. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, but its real job is signaling to the body that darkness has arrived and it is time to rest. Unfortunately, melatonin production naturally declines with age. By the time someone reaches their 60s or 70s, melatonin levels may be significantly lower than they were decades earlier. This doesn't just affect falling asleep, it can also affect staying asleep. Low melatonin levels can lead to lighter sleep cycles, making it easier for the brain to wake up from small disturbances. A low dose of melatonin taken in the evening may help restore a more natural sleep rhythm. However, many experts now suggest that smaller doses are often better for seniors than very large doses. But sleep is not controlled by one hormone alone. Another nutrient that plays a surprising role in sleep regulation is vitamin D. Vitamin D receptors exist in several areas of the brain involved in sleep control. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to shorter sleep duration and more fragmented sleep. Many seniors are deficient in vitamin D because they spend less time in sunlight or because the skin becomes less efficient at producing it. Supporting healthy vitamin D levels may help regulate circadian rhythm signals that guide sleep timing. Then there is an amino acid that many sleep experts believe is one of the body's most powerful relaxation nutrients: taurine. Taurine supports the nervous system and helps regulate calcium levels inside cells. This contributes to muscle relaxation and nervous system stability. Taurine also appears to enhance the activity of GABA, the calming neurotransmitter we talked about earlier. When GABA activity increases, the brain becomes less reactive to stress signals. This makes it easier for the body to remain in deeper stages of sleep. Another nutrient that deserves attention is vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is involved in the production of serotonin and melatonin, both of which play important roles in sleep regulation. Without adequate B6, the body may struggle to convert serotonin into melatonin effectively. This means even if the brain produces serotonin during the day, the nighttime conversion into sleep signals may not occur efficiently. Finally, there is one more compound that many sleep specialists believe can quietly transform sleep quality for seniors: apigenin. Apigenin is a natural compound found in chamomile flowers. It binds to certain receptors in the brain that promote calmness and relaxation. This is one reason chamomile tea has been used for centuries as a nighttime drink. Apigenin appears to gently encourage the brain towards sleep without creating dependence or grogginess. Some people notice that when apigenin becomes part of their nighttime routine, their body begins recognizing it as a signal that sleep time is approaching. But perhaps the most important thing to understand is that these supplements are not magic pills. They work best when combined with healthy sleep habits. Keeping a consistent bedtime, reducing bright light in the evening, avoiding heavy meals late at night, getting natural sunlight during the day. These signals help the body's internal clock stay synchronized. When the internal clock is stable and the body receives the nutrients it needs to regulate stress, blood sugar, and sleep hormones, nighttime awakenings often become far less frequent. And many seniors discover something they thought was lost forever: deep, peaceful sleep again. Sleep where the night passes quietly. The mind rests. The body repairs itself. And morning arrives with energy rather than exhaustion. Because the truth is, your age does not eliminate your ability to sleep well. Your body simply needs the right support to do what it was designed to do. There is something many seniors never realize about the nights when sleep suddenly breaks for no clear reason. You fall asleep just fine. The room is quiet. Your body is tired. But sometime in the middle of the night, your eyes open, your mind becomes alert, and you find yourself lying there wondering why your body refuses to stay asleep. For many people over the age of 60, this experience becomes frustratingly common. It is not always stress, and it is not always insomnia in the traditional sense. Often the real cause lies deep inside the nervous system, in the delicate chemical signals that control whether the body stays calm or becomes alert. The nervous system is constantly balancing between two states. One state is the calm repair mode where the body slows down, muscles loosen, the heart rate drops, and the brain moves into deep restorative sleep. The other state is the alert survival mode where the brain becomes watchful, the heart speeds slightly, and stress hormones quietly rise. During the night, the body is supposed to stay mostly in that calm repair mode. But as people age, certain nutrients that help maintain that calm state slowly decline. When those nutrients become too low, the nervous system becomes more sensitive and reactive. It takes very little for the brain to flip from calm mode into alert mode. A small sound, a slight blood sugar shift, a tiny hormonal signal, or even nothing noticeable at all can trigger the nervous system to wake the body up. This is why many seniors describe waking up suddenly with their mind active, even though they were sleeping peacefully just minutes before. The nervous system is simply missing some of the nutritional support it needs to remain stable throughout the night. One of the most overlooked nutrients that helps maintain this calm state is an amino acid called glycine. Glycine may sound unfamiliar, but it plays a powerful role in how the brain prepares for sleep and stays asleep. Glycine acts almost like a gentle signal to the nervous system, telling it to slow down and relax. It works by interacting with certain receptors in the brain that reduce neural activity and quiet the signals that keep the mind alert. But glycine also has another fascinating effect that many people do not know about. It helps lower the body's core temperature slightly, which is a critical step in the process of falling into deep sleep. When the body cools down just a little, the brain interprets this as a signal that nighttime rest should begin. For seniors whose nervous systems remain slightly overstimulated during the night, glycine can support the natural cooling and calming process that helps sleep cycles remain stable. Another nutrient that quietly supports nervous system relaxation is taurine. Taurine is an amino acid found naturally in the brain and heart, and it plays an important role in regulating electrical signals between nerve cells. When taurine levels are balanced, nerve cells communicate in a smooth and controlled way. But when taurine becomes low, the nervous system can become more excitable. This means the brain may react more strongly to small changes in the body, leading to restless sleep and unexpected awakenings. Taurine helps regulate calcium movement within nerve cells, and this control over calcium helps keep nerve activity stable. When the nervous system is stable, the brain is less likely to shift suddenly into alert mode during the night. Many researchers believe taurine acts as a natural buffer against overstimulation in the nervous system, which becomes especially valuable as people grow older and nerve sensitivity increases. Another overlooked nutrient that supports the calm nighttime state is vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 does much more than people realize. It plays a critical role in producing several neurotransmitters that influence mood and relaxation. One of the most important of these neurotransmitters is serotonin. Serotonin is often known as the feel-good chemical, but it also acts as the raw material the body uses to create melatonin later in the evening. Without enough vitamin B6, the conversion process that turns serotonin into melatonin may not work efficiently. This means the brain might produce less of the hormone that signals the body to stay asleep during the night. Low B6 levels can also affect the production of GABA, another powerful calming neurotransmitter that helps slow brain activity. When GABA activity is reduced, the nervous system becomes more reactive to small stimuli, which can lead to lighter sleep and more frequent awakenings. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to this because the body's ability to absorb and process B vitamins tends to decline gradually with age. There is also a natural plant compound that many people have unknowingly used for centuries without realizing how it affects the nervous system. This compound is called apigenin. Apigenin is found in chamomile flowers, which is one reason chamomile tea has long been associated with relaxation and bedtime rituals. Apigenin interacts with certain receptors in the brain that influence calmness and sleepiness. These receptors are similar to those targeted by certain anti-anxiety medications, but apigenin works much more gently. Instead of forcing the brain into sedation, it simply encourages a calmer state where sleep can happen naturally. For seniors who feel slightly restless or mentally alert at night, this gentle calming effect can make a noticeable difference. Another nutrient that deserves attention when discussing nighttime nervous system balance is magnesium. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of biochemical processes throughout the body, but its influence on the nervous system is especially important. Magnesium helps regulate the activity of NMDA receptors in the brain, which are involved in excitatory nerve signaling. When these receptors become too active, the brain can remain overly stimulated even when the body is tired. Magnesium acts like a natural brake on this excitatory signaling, helping the brain slow down and transition into deeper sleep stages. Magnesium also supports the production of GABA, the calming neurotransmitter that quiets neural activity. Without enough magnesium, the nervous system may struggle to enter the deeply relaxed state required for uninterrupted sleep. This is one reason muscle tension, nighttime restlessness, and frequent awakenings are often associated with magnesium deficiency. As people age, magnesium levels often decline due to changes in digestion, medication use, and dietary patterns. Another fascinating nutrient that supports nervous system stability during sleep is L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid found in green tea leaves, and it has a unique ability to promote relaxation without causing drowsiness during the day. It works by influencing brainwave activity, increasing alpha brainwaves that are associated with calm, focused relaxation. These are the same brainwaves observed during meditation. When alpha waves increase, the mind becomes less reactive to stress signals. For seniors who wake up during the night with racing thoughts or mild anxiety, L-theanine may help keep the brain in a calmer state so it can drift back into sleep more easily. L-theanine also appears to help regulate cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. Cortisol should be low during the night, but if it rises unexpectedly, it can trigger sudden awakenings. By helping maintain balanced cortisol levels, L-theanine supports a more stable nighttime nervous system environment. Another overlooked nutrient that plays a quiet but powerful role in sleep is potassium. Potassium is best known for its role in heart health and muscle function, but it also influences nerve signaling. Potassium helps maintain the electrical balance inside and outside nerve cells. This balance determines how easily nerve cells fire signals. When potassium levels are too low, nerve cells can become more excitable and sensitive. This heightened sensitivity can lead to nighttime restlessness or sudden awakenings. Potassium also contributes to proper muscle relaxation, which can prevent the subtle tension that sometimes disrupts sleep cycles. Many seniors do not consume enough potassium through diet alone, especially if they limit certain foods due to health concerns. Another nutrient that contributes to nervous system relaxation is zinc. Zinc participates in the regulation of neurotransmitters involved in mood and sleep. It influences the activity of GABA and glutamate, two chemicals that balance calm and excitation in the brain. When zinc levels are balanced, the brain maintains a more stable rhythm between these signals. But when zinc becomes low, the balance can shift toward increased excitatory activity, making it harder for the brain to remain in deep sleep stages. Zinc also interacts with melatonin pathways, supporting the body's natural circadian rhythm. For seniors whose sleep patterns have become irregular, restoring zinc levels may help stabilize the biological clock that guides sleep and wake cycles. There's also another amino acid that supports relaxation in a subtle but meaningful way. This amino acid is tryptophan. Tryptophan is widely known as the precursor to serotonin, which later becomes melatonin. But tryptophan's influence extends beyond just hormone production. It also contributes to mood stability and emotional calmness. When tryptophan levels are adequate, the brain has a steady supply of the raw materials needed to maintain balanced serotonin levels throughout the day and evening. Stable serotonin levels support a smoother transition into nighttime melatonin production, helping the body remain in restful sleep cycles longer. Seniors often consume less protein than they did earlier in life, which can reduce the availability of amino acids like tryptophan that are necessary for these processes. Another nutrient often overlooked in discussions of nervous system health is vitamin D. Although vitamin D is most commonly associated with bone health, it also acts as a hormone influencing many systems in the body, including the brain. Vitamin D receptors are present in several regions involved in sleep regulation and mood balance. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to fragmented sleep, shorter sleep duration, and increased nighttime awakenings. One reason for this may be vitamin D's role in supporting serotonin production. Adequate vitamin D helps the brain maintain stable serotonin levels, which contributes to emotional balance and smoother sleep cycles. Many seniors have low vitamin D levels due to reduced sun exposure and decreased skin efficiency in producing the vitamin. There is also an interesting connection between nervous system relaxation and a compound known as GABA itself. GABA stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid, and it is the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain. Its job is to slow down neural activity and prevent excessive stimulation. When GABA activity is strong, the brain shifts into a calm, relaxed state. This is essential for entering deep sleep. However, several nutritional factors influence how effectively the body produces and uses GABA. Magnesium, vitamin B6, and certain amino acids all contribute to the pathways that regulate this calming neurotransmitter. When these nutrients are lacking, GABA activity may be reduced, allowing excitatory signals in the brain to dominate. This can make sleep lighter and more easily disrupted. Seniors may not realize that these small nutritional changes gradually influence how their nervous system behaves at night. Even mild deficiencies can subtly shift the balance between calmness and alertness, making the brain more likely to wake up in response to minor internal changes. The nervous system is incredibly sensitive to the chemical environment within the body. When it receives the right nutrients in the right balance, it functions smoothly and quietly during the night. But when that balance is disrupted, even slightly, the brain may become restless, scanning for signals and responding with wakefulness when none is needed. Sleep then becomes fragmented, leaving the body less rested and the mind less clear the next day. Seniors often assume this is simply part of aging, yet in many cases the nervous system is simply asking for the support it once received naturally through diet and lifestyle. When these overlooked nutrients are restored, the nervous system can return to a calmer rhythm. Neural signals slow down. Stress responses become less reactive. Muscles relax more easily. The brain drifts more smoothly between sleep cycles instead of jumping abruptly into wakefulness. Many sleep researchers believe that supporting the nervous system in this way may be one of the most gentle and natural approaches to improving sleep quality later in life. Because rather than forcing the brain to sleep, these nutrients simply help the body regain the balance it needs to remain peacefully asleep through the quiet hours of the night.